right, welcome back. This is Freedom Corner Podcast. I'm your host, Steven Utroska. Got here with me in the studio again today is Representative Steve Hopkins. Steve, always a pleasure.
It's always great to be here and talk to the people that we stand up for and fight for.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we are just a little over halfway through session now,
right?
And it's been really a tough session so far for conservatives.
Very tough. All the good legislation that we were championing has died. Our only recourse at this point is to watch for bills that have the right kind of codes in them that we can maybe amend in committee or on the floor. But, the chances of that being successful are slim because people turn yellow in an election year.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You see these people that run on blood red conservative platforms, and all of a sudden in an election year, they're yellow. I mean, it's like they got jaundice or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's incredible to watch. You see stuff like eliminating the state income tax. Yeah. Well, and this better than anybody. Our proposal was that should have been done first.
Right.
Before you go and give everybody with a heartbeat that works for the government a raise, we should have eliminated the state income tax first. Well, now you've committed all these hundreds of millions of dollars of new money to all these people, and all of your moderate Republicans are scared to death that we're going to have to cut spending to government. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If we'd have done it, Stephen, if they'd listened to us, if we would have cut the state income tax first, let the economy grow, within 2 years, we could have addressed those salary discrepancies in the areas that were needed. Not these executives of these agencies who made out like bandits. Okay, they don't talk about that. They only want to talk about where the votes are, the teachers, law enforcement, those kind of things. Those are the people that actually deserve raises. They don't talk about the agency heads who are now making, in a new tax bracket because they got a huge raise. They don't talk about that.
Yeah.
But they use those raises as covers to give those people raises, to give everybody else raises. They even tried to give themselves a raises, and thank God we killed that, because this should be a thing of the heart. You shouldn't run for government to get a raise. You're supposed to be a public servant. So how do you serve and then go in there and say, well, we deserve a raise? Get out. If that's what you stand for, if you think you deserve a raise, then you're doing everything for the wrong reasons. You should be doing it as a thing of the heart to fight for the people on the principles that you ran on. If we'd have done it that way, if we'd eliminated state income tax, then revisited, we could have pulled all of this off. Now, because of what we did last year, you may never see the elimination of the state income tax. Not that we're not going to continue that fight as true conservatives, but you may never see that elimination now, because we put the cart before the horse.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's funny too that, you say true conservative, but it's just a regular Republican platform tenet.
That's all it is.
The Republican platform, the Freedom Caucus sometimes gets painted into, of course, last year there's an article came out by one of the liberal newspapers calling, the Mississippi Freedom Caucus far right and, just extreme right and all this, but literally you just want to follow the Republican Party platform.
That's all it is. There's no such thing as far right. That's just a label to discredit.
Right.
You're either a platform Republican or you're not.
Yeah.
Which means arguably you could make the case that they're not Republicans.
Yeah. Well, I actually like that title, platform Republican. That's what we ought to start calling ourselves.
We are platform Republicans. What does the Republican Party platform say? Lower taxes.
Yep. And it actually says when you go to the tax section of the platform, it's on the website, go to msgop.org, go to their platform. On the platform, it says when you go to taxes, it says that we believe that, and I'm kind of paraphrasing this, not word for word, but basically we believe that, people know how to spend their own money best.
Exactly.
So we should cut taxes so that we can drive our economy by allowing people to have money in their pockets that they'll use in the local economy and drive our economy by using their own money, not the government taking that money. I mean, that's what it says on Mississippi GOP's website,
right?
msgop.org. It
right.
says that. So if you're a Republican, and you believe in the tenets of your own party, that's what it says. Couldn't do that though. Couldn't cut income tax this year.
And we were told
$1 billion surplus.
We were told we're breaking records in sales tax revenues.
Yeah.
We're told this, but you still have people paranoid that you're going to have to cut government. Wait a minute. What was the number 2 thing on the platform, Stephen? Was it smaller government?
Yeah.
Cut the size of government to its bare bones? People don't know anymore. They don't. We have given our liberties away. They don't know. They don't understand what core function of government is.
Yeah.
We want to secede all of our freedoms and liberties to government to take care of everything. Somebody gets their feelings hurt. They want us to pass a law to protect their feelings. I'm sorry. Work that out.
Yeah. Well, people are so scared of personal responsibility. They need a government to be their parent.
Right.
Because they don't want to take personal responsibility.
Right.
But with individual liberty, with freedom, also comes responsibility to, actually have to take care of yourself.
Right.
You have to do things on your own.
Right. We've gotten so far away from biblical principles. The Bible says, if you have aught against your brother, you go to your brother. Well, today it's, if you got aught against your brother, go to your state representative or your state senator and get them to pass a law.
Yeah. Go to Caesar.
Yeah. Go to Caesar. No, it's not supposed to work that way. If you fall back on God's principles, God's laws, we could work so much of this out as individuals in the community without having the government trample all over our God-given rights.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, and back, you said, earlier, the point about our legislators trying to give themselves a raise.
Yeah.
Our system of government was set up so that we had part-time legislature.
Right.
In Mississippi, it's a part-time legislature.
Right.
So you were expected to, one, as a public servant, come and serve your fellow man here in Mississippi as being a representative or senator. But you're part-time legislator. So the expectation was that you've got a job outside of this. You've got a real job outside of this, not this being your full-time job.
Right.
And so it's kind of the same argument of, telling somebody, hey, the minimum wage argument of, well, this isn't supposed to be a full-time career job for you in minimum wage. You have something else outside of that to, help.
Yeah.
But that's how this is, a part-time job. So we shouldn't be paying these legislators a full-time annual salary that they can live on.
Right.
They're supposed to have jobs outside of this, but there's many of them that don't. This is all they have. And so, of course, they can't live on what's a part-time salary. So they want to raise that to give themselves a full-time salary so they don't have to work outside of it.
I tell you, and I've said this so many times, I didn't run for the money. I ran because I was one of those guys that got tired of screaming at the TV and was just sick and tired of being sick and tired and wanted to make a difference.
Yeah.
So I didn't run for the money. But here's the thing, too. And I've said this. I lose money serving because my job that I've had for right at 40 years now, I lose money because I have to take time off without pay to be here. So not only am I not making a ton of money here, I have to take time off without pay, and I'm fine with that. If I want to be in the fight, then I've got to be willing to sacrifice.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, you look at it. So the salary is $10,000 a year.
Right.
Plus you get per diem, but per diem is to pay for your expenses while you're here. So, certainly there are a lot of legislators who take advantage of that per diem and build it up and they can make more. But really, if you look at just the salary of $10,000 a year, that's basically, it's a quarter. You spend a quarter up here. It's 3 months, most sessions, fourth in the first term. But if you're looking at 3 months that you're spending up here for $10,000, that's your first quarter. So you have to make less than $40,000 a year for this to actually be more than what you would make in your regular job.
Right.
So if you make more than $40,000 a year in the private world, you're losing money.
Yeah.
You're losing money by being here. So it blows my mind that there's people who come here to make this their full-time career, and some of them have been here for 40 years doing it, and they want to raise their salary because, again, this is a full-time job for them. They make less than $40,000 out there in the the real world because this is their only job, but that's not what our system was ever set up for.
No.
And all they want is they want more money, and like you said, they keep adding and adding and adding, not only for themselves, for other public employees throughout the state and whatever job they are. Not only that, but there's program after program after program they want to add. Of course, they want to expand. Many even in our own party want to expand Medicaid.
Right.
They want to expand protectionism for different things. They want to expand more government. They want to grow government. They want to do all these things. They don't want to go back to these core functions or even be a platform Republican.
No.
Now they want to grow government to the point to where when they're arguing against a tax cut, like income tax, like a tax on someone's labor, when they argue against that, they say, we just can't do that. We can't right now because if we do that, we would have to cut. And we don't want to cut.
We don't want to cut.
They don't want to cut spending, and cutting taxes may actually require them to cut spending. Although we're $1 billion surplus this year. If we did nothing, if we didn't grow government at all, we just held government steady at where it is, we'd have $1 billion extra this year.
Right.
Well, $1 billion, that's half of income tax.
Sure.
That's half of what the state revenue is for income tax.
We've made those points. We've made those points.
1 year, you could cut half of people's income tax out.
Right.
In 1 year.
Right. Well, the proposal wasn't even that. The proposal was to cut the remaining 4%, a third per year until it was gone.
Yeah.
Just a third. Our economy in Mississippi grows larger than that.
Yeah.
So, and that's if you don't cut government. Our opinion, and this is why the State Freedom Caucus Network is growing leaps and bounds all over the country, because we believe we should lead with tax cut, with government cuts, budget cuts. We should lead with that. That should be the first part of the bill. That you take an across the board 5% cut the first year, the second year, the third year. Okay. Why? Mississippi has the 5th largest state government per capita in the country. Do we have room to cut? Yes. Here's what people need to understand. Your representatives and your senators, for the most part, are here supporting government, not you, the people. Not you, the people. Now, if they're in the Freedom Caucus, they're fighting for you.
Yeah.
All right. Next year, with a couple of races that go the right way, we're probably going to be bicameral, which means there's going to be Freedom Caucus members in the Senate.
Yep.
And
you included?
Yes, me included. And God willing, and there's a couple of good senators over there that will follow with us and probably be Freedom Caucus members. So, and we'll grow that network. The reason we'll grow is because people are tired of do nothing, say nothing, stand for nothing Republicans who run on empty platforms.
Yeah.
We do not do that.
And they don't even know what the Republican Party platform
says. They do not. And we do, and we stand on it, and our voting records reflect it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and again, I mean, it's platform Republicans. Like I said, I like that term. I'm going to start using it, platform Republicans. That's all we're asking for.
Yeah.
If we could just get the Republicans, and we have supermajority Republicans in both chambers, both the Senate and the House, 3/5 in the House, 2/3 in the Senate, supermajorities in both chambers. If we could just get them to read the platform every once in a while and stick to it every once in a while,
vote,
man, we could Mississippi could have a government looking like Florida right now.
Right. Well, we could be better than Florida.
Yeah.
If only every single Republican in the Capitol, if all of your representatives and senators voted according to the Republican Party platform, we could be the most conservative state in this country.
Yeah. 100%.
100%.
Yeah. And that's all it takes is just standing up for the platform.
Just standing on the platform.
But that tells the people, that are watching or listening to this later, That's the issue, is we have so many people that are Republicans that run under the Republican ticket, run as a Republican. They've got that R beside their name. But look at the junk legislation we have coming out, not only this year, but every year. Good bills die every year, and terrible bills. The Republicans have been in control of both chambers this is the 12th year. For 12 years now, Republicans have had control of both chambers. For 12 years. And after 12 years, we still have income tax. We still don't have educational freedom full. We don't have full school choice like many other Republican states have. We had a parental rights bill this year.
Arkansas just passed school choice. I mean, come on. Arkansas. Why are we letting all these other states who we purport to be more conservative than outpace us? With the argument was made by one of our members that we don't want to come off of last place in the country. We don't want to, and people saying, well, what are we last in? Spendable income. Well, guess what? Eliminating state income tax will do. It'll put more money back into the pockets. It eliminates penalizing the producers. You're going to have more money that's spent to grow business. You're going to have more money that's going to be spent to open new businesses. You're going to have money that circulates over and over, growing the economy. The same money goes to the government, it dies.
Well, it's funny to me, so many Republicans support sin taxes,
right?
We don't like something, we tax it. If we really don't like it, then we ban it and make it a felony. But something like tobacco and alcohol, they don't really like it, so let's at least tax it. Let's put a sin tax on it. But they know, why do they put a sin tax on tobacco? Because they know when they tax it, it decreases the purchasing of it. It decreases people from buying it. Same argument is 100%. Economically true about labor. You tax it more, there's less production of it. Less people are working, the more you tax it. So if you tax labor less, more people are going to start working because they can make more money, and the government's not just taking part of it. So it's the same principles are true, but for some reason, there's many Republicans that don't see that. They want to tax things they don't like sin, the sin tax, but they don't see how that translates into let's not tax labor. Because if we didn't tax it, more people would work. They just can't reconcile those.
Folks, and that segues really good into this. Here's what you need to do. If Republicans who are for raising taxes, you got to stop and ask yourself, are they really Republicans? Are they? Because that's not on the platform. They're not Republicans. Ask the next candidate that comes to your door, knocks on your door, and he starts his spiel. Look him in the eye and say, will you stand firm on the Republican Party platform and vote that way? And if they say yes, say, would you sign an agreement saying so? And be ready to write it out and make them sign it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I would. I would in a heartbeat. A platform Republican will always sign that. If that person is not willing to sign that at your front door, they don't even have to sign it. All you got to do is ask them a question. They'll say no, or they'll say yes. If they're not willing to sign that, guess what? You found out everything you need to know. They will not support you, but they will support other government.
That's right. Well, and we're seeing in several races right now some mayors or councilmen who wanted to raise their local and private taxes, and now they're running, for a representative or Senate seat. And so if they come to your door and say, "Hey, would you sign an agreement to stand by the Republican Party platform?" And not always. We're always going to have, a little bit of disagreements here and there. So we're not asking them to sign their life away to it, but at least based on your principles, try to hold firm to these principles, the platform. And, we're not saying you have to 100% agree with the party every time or party leaders every time, but the principles. Do you agree with these principles?
Let me just, folks, please listen to me. Please listen to me. If you got an alderman, a former alderman, or a former mayor that is running for the state legislature, and they ever voted to raise taxes, they are not your candidate.
Yeah.
You know,
And
they are not your, they will
Jackson.
not change. They will come here and they will do everything that the city government wants them to do at home. Okay. Let me ask you a question, folks. Has anybody ever come to your door and says, hey, listen, if you elect me, I'm going to do everything the mayor tells me to do? They won't do it.
No, and they're certainly not going to tell you they're going to raise your taxes.
Yeah, they won't tell you that either. That's why you got to be tough. You got to ask the tough questions. Don't just go look at the push card or that they give you and everything, but ask the tough questions.
Yeah.
You know, and if they answer any of those other ways, don't vote for them.
Yeah.
You know, and we got to work hard to find platform Republicans to run.
Yeah.
You know,
that's right.
We've got to work hard to get these people to run.
Yep. And since we're already past qualification for the legislature this year, find the ones that are running this year that are challenging incumbents, that are platform Republicans that are running, and vote for them. And not only just vote for them, go out and help them campaign because they need your help. True, conservatives, platform Republicans need your help because they're not getting any dollars from the lobbyists.
Yeah. And in my case, running for my seat, Jamie Goodkind, we know for a fact, Jamie Goodkind will be a platform Republican. He will do what's right. He wouldn't get my support if that weren't the case. John Williams too. John Williams will be a platform Republican. He will be a Freedom Caucus member day one.
Yeah. 100%.
These guys are solid, and we need more of these guys all over the state.
Yep. Well, good. Well, look, we are out of time. It is always a pleasure, Steve, to have you on the Freedom Corner podcast. So hope to have you back soon.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right. Well, look, I'm going to end it how I always end it, Steve. There's no one else I would rather have fighting in my corner. Thank you so much. And to everyone watching or listening, God bless, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.